Hello everyone, welcome to you all IAS YouTube channel. From today, my foundation program is starting. This is my first foundation program at Evolve IAS. I am not teaching anywhere else the geography optional. So, geography optional I am exclusively teaching only at the Evolve IAS. The first class is open to all at YouTube. After that, it will be only accessible to those students who have registered in this program. As far as foundation is concerned, so most of the students who have make up their mind to go with the geography optional, they must be knowing the utility, the importance of the geography optional as well as foundation. Foundation program is like it gives you the base, it builds the base for your overall preparation. But this is one of the questions which you all need to understand before going through the program, before starting your preparation, that what are the objective, what are the benefits you should get from the foundation program. So whosoever has connected with me, is part of this program, they need to understand that if you are not going to understand the benefit that you will get through this program, it will not be helpful for your overall preparation. So there are few things that you all need to understand. You all need to understand to get the clarity of this program, that is foundation. First of all, if I'll ask that why you are studying the geography, so I think all of you will have only one answer, and there is no doubt about it, that you all are studying this geography optional to just qualify this examination, that is UPSC. बाकी मुझे नहीं लगता कि कोई भी स्टूडेंट केवल ज्योग्राफी पढ़ने के लिए ज्योग्राफी ऑप्शनल पढ़ेंगे. Because if you are having interest in the geography, so definitely you will go into academics, you will do the graduation, masters, then you can go in the research. So you will have a different path altogether. So if you are preparing the geography optional, obviously your aim, your goal is to qualify the examination. But how you will get qualified? That is also a thing that you need to understand, because most of the students, they have this clarity in their mind that yes, I am preparing this geography optional to qualify this UPSC examination. But how you will get qualified? So one thing that almost all the student whosoever is preparing this examination with geography optional, from the day one, they should have this clarity, and the clarity is this should not be the target, this should be the clarity. This is something, the target should be always 300 plus. The target should be 300 plus, but you all need to have clarity that if your score will not be in and around this 280 plus, you are not going to get a good rank, or you are not going to get what you are aspiring for. Because most of you who are preparing for UPSC, they are only aspiring, almost all the candidates are aspiring for this service. Specifically if you are belonging from the general category, so then this 280 is must. There is no other option. So in optional, if you will not score 280 plus, I'm sorry to say, but it is very difficult to get this service. लास्ट के जितने भी 4-5 सालों में जितने भी स्टूडेंट सेलेक्ट हुए हैं ज्योग्राफी ऑप्शनल से, इंक्लूडिंग दिस ईयर, अगर आप उनके स्कोर देखेंगे, देन यू विल फाइंड मोस्ट ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स स्कोर इज लाइंग इन दिस रेंज. लास्ट ईयर Yasharth Shekhar has scored almost 306 marks. So if you will look out the Yasharth Shekhar's mark, if you will try to compare his marks of the GS, essay, his marks of the personality test, you will find there is only one difference between the Yasharth and other students whosoever has qualified with the geography optional, that is the marks of the geography. He got almost 36 marks edge in the geography optional, which provided a cushion for almost all the other areas. तो GS में थोड़े से कम भी आए हैं, एसए में थोड़े से कम आ गए, पर्सनालिटी टेस्ट में कम आ गए, फिर भी आपको जो सर्विस चाहिए, यू आर एस्पायरिंग टू गेट द कोविटेड सर्विस, यू विल गेट. So the thing that you all need to understand, you need to have the clarity in your mind. The thing that you all need to have clarity in the mind, that this should be the thing that should be always in your mind. जब भी आप ज्योग्राफी पढ़ें, जब भी आप प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हैं, ये आपके माइंड से नहीं जाना चाहिए. So your preparation should not be the directionless. Your preparation should have clear goal. So whatever you are going to do in this classroom for the next 4.5 months, and after the classroom, definitely you will be in touch with me through the answer writing, through the mentorship. You should always have this goal in your mind. So until unless you are in this UPSC field, you should have this goal. And what is the goal? To score very high, at least 280 plus. But how you will get this 280 plus? Because this is not something that simply you just have decided, you have written in your notebook. आपने अपनी जहाँ self पढ़ते हैं, table पढ़ते हैं, उसके सामने आपने you have pasted something like this. I need to get 280 plus. So by just writing the 280 plus, will you be going to score 280 plus? That is not going to happen. So our objective, we are having the clarity of goal. So what we are going to do in this 4.5 months, बाकी जो भी चीजें बताई जाएंगी कि ये करेंगे, that is fine. But you just need to understand that we have a goal, and in this 4.5 months and after that, when you are going to be connected with me, in that entire process, our objective will be to make yourself exam ready. So almost you can say, here we have a goal and here you are. Our objective is to help you out from here to definitely achieving the goal. But before achieving the goal, you need to have exam ready. Then only you will be able to achieve the goal. Let's suppose that you are going to write the mains examination and you have not clarity of any topic, or let's say you haven't studied a topic called population geography. आपने पढ़ा ही नहीं. You haven't completed the topic called regional planning. Prelims दिया आपने. Whatsoever reason, let's say, by God's grace you have qualified the prelims. अब आप ये बताइए कि prelims आपका हो गया, आपके पास गोल भी है to get the score 300 plus, लेकिन आपने 3 चैप्टर, 4 चैप्टर, 5 चैप्टर पढ़ा ही नहीं है, तो will it be possible to reach to achieve that goal? That is not going to happen. That is why before the goal you need to have the exam ready. Now what are the different ingredients which you will do or which you will complete, then you can say this, I am exam ready. So let's first of all figure out some of the ingredients. What are the main ingredients? In this examination, the very first ingredient that you all need to do, in fact, to start from this where you are to reach to this goal is, first of all, idea, knowledge of syllabus. All of you should keep on writing also. Idea, knowledge of syllabus. Now, idea, knowledge of syllabus is required, but there is one more thing. When you are studying the optional, when you are studying the GS, then knowledge of the syllabus is fine. But when you are studying when you are preparing the optional, जब आप optional कर रहे हैं, तो in the optional, it is also required that you should not have the idea, knowledge of the syllabus, but you should have a knowledge of detailed syllabus. So here you need to have a detailed. So it is like knowing the topics, but along with you also need to have idea of subtopics, micro topics. So subtopics, micro topics, might be these topics are not written, but you need to have clarity. मैं क्लाइमेट पढ़ रहा हूं तो क्लाइमेट में कौन कौन से टॉपिक ऐसे हैं जो नहीं दिए गए हैं, लिखे नहीं गए, लेकिन फिर भी मुझे पढ़ना चाहिए. So need to have a good idea, knowledge of the detailed syllabus. After that, the next very important ingredient is completion of the syllabus. Completion of the syllabus. So पूरा आपको 20 chapters you need to complete. But here is the catch, and this is where you all need to be very attentive. This is where you all need to be very much, you can say, you need to have always attentive, because if you are going to just get loosen your attention for quite some time, that can be a week, that can be a month, within that time period, how the month will turn to the 2 month will turn to the 6 month, 6 month will turn to the year, you will not be able to realize. Because I am interacting with the student past so many years, and sorry to say, sometimes I also feel bad for this. जैसे ही prelims exam खत्म होता है, उसके बाद student will get almost very much enthusiastic, बहुत excited होंगे. तो prelims में अच्छा नहीं करेंगे, तो they come to me कि हाँ सर, अब फिर से इस साल पूरा करना, और जो गलती हमने दोहराई, जो गलती हमने किया लास्ट ईयर, उसको नहीं दोहराना. All right, that's very good. And they used to start some program, and only 30-40% students learn from their mistakes. 50-60% student, again, after starting afresh, again they used to do the same thing which they have done in the past. If you are doing the same thing, so how you are expecting the different result? If you are doing the same thing, last year you have done something and you got the result. Now again this year also you are doing the same thing and you are expecting the different result. If you are expecting the different result, you need to do something different. So this is where you all need to understand. This is also one important thing. Completion of syllabus is important. But even more important in this UPSC preparation is time bound completion. This is something which you all need to act. This is something which you all need to work. Because अगर आपने यहाँ पे नहीं काम किया, if you have not completed the syllabus within the stipulated time frame, believe me, things will get spilled out from your hand. And if the things will get spilled out from your hand, so it will be very difficult for you to tackle it in later part of your preparation. Also, in the initial stage, you all are just entering in this UPSC preparation, and I am expecting that most of you are going to appear either in 2024 or there can be some of the candidates who will be appearing in 2025. तो 2024-25 में आप एग्जाम देने जा रहे हैं, तो जो भी आप इस समय, this is the right time for you to act on all these things. क्योंकि जो टॉपिक आपका बच जाएगा, believe me, after next year again you will be worrying for the same topic. और अगर आप उस टॉपिक के करने जाएंगे तो you might be you are ignoring the topics that you already have done. So that is the reason why in the first step itself you need to act on both these things, completion of the syllabus and also time bound completion. Time bound completion is like that we are starting from the June month, and by November, December, in anyhow your syllabus should be completed. And when I am saying completion of the syllabus is not simply that you felt that yes, I have completed. Completion of the syllabus is having few things that you all need to understand. You should have notes on those topics, and the note should be so much exhaustive that you are revising from that notes. So let's suppose from December you wanted to study oceanography. So it is not like that you should start reading the book कि अच्छा बुक में ये चैप्टर है, ये टॉपिक है, इसको पढ़ें. बुक का जो आपके पढ़ने का था, whatever you wanted to study from the book, even along with the class, that content should also be in your notes, and the note should be very much exhaustive. एक exhaustive notes हो कि जिसको आप ये कह सकें कि from December, let's say you want to revise the oceanography, तो कुछ नहीं करना, I just need to open my notes and I already have prepared. मैंने सभी चीजें पहले से सीख लिया है, concept पहले से clear है. If the concept is clear and I know all the things, then I need not to worry. I can revise this oceanography within 5 to 10 days. First time. The second time when you will read the same oceanography, it can be revised in only 3 days. And the next time when you are going to read the oceanography, it can be revised hardly in 1 day. That time will go down even for 2-3 hours before the night of examination, mains examination. That is how you need to revise. Because agar aap every time if you will just try to read it from the book, so might be in the revision of the book it is going to take few weeks. Next time भी करेंगे again it will take lot of time. फिर आपको लगेगा कुछ चीजें तो मेरे नोट्स में भी थी, कुछ चीजें एनसीईआरटी की रह गई हैं. So don't try to make the different sources at you can say at scattered places. So it is not like that you will have 4 or 5 different sources from where you are going to revise. Your revision should be from only one source. That source can be class notes, that source can be the notes you have prepared. दोनों तरीके से हो सकते हैं. But if you are attending the classes, so it should always be class notes. So completion of the syllabus and time bound completion, and class notes needs to be prepared. Before starting, let me tell you a few things related to the notes preparation and all those things. Most of you must have seen, must be aware of my way of teaching. कहीं ना कहीं किसी न किसी तरीके से आप मेरे साथ पहले भी जुड़े ही थे. Those who are new, you need to know that in foundation classes, I will not only dictate. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि बस केवल डिक्टेशन होता रहेगा and you are going to write the things. क्योंकि डिक्टेशन और राइटिंग से ही अगर बात बन जाती तो फिर आप मेरे पास नहीं आते. So I am not only going to just dictate for 2.5 hours. Our way of learning will be like active learning. So in the active learning, what will be done? First, we will take up a topic, जो भी topic हमारा होगा, and I will give the explanation. And once you will understand that explanation, let's say you have some doubt in query, so you can ask that query. So first that doubt query will get cleared, and then I will give the dictation. But yes, your responsibility is not to just wait for the dictation, but also you should note it down the discussion part, because lot of things we used to discuss while explaining the thing. Might be in case of dictation, because the dictation should be in a very readable form, it should be in the form which you can directly reproduce in the examination. So the dictation part will be in that form, but the discussion will be very elaborative. So it is very important for you to note it down, both the discussion as well as the dictation part, discussion or dictation part. And this is something that we are going to do in our entire session. तो जो भी हमारा नेक्स्ट 100-120 क्लासेस होने वाली हैं, in all that classes, this is exact format we are going to follow. That is, first we are going to take up the topic will be discussed, and it will be almost discussed. I will discuss, and even if you are having some doubt, something in your mind, then again the discussion will happen, and then the dictation part. So you need to note it down, both the discussion as well as dictation. You all must be preparing the notes on the A4 spiral, so it will be easy for you, because this notes, as I said, this class note should be used for the revision. तो रिवीजन अगर आपका इसी साल सिलेक्शन हो गया नेक्स्ट ईयर, देन इट्स फाइन. एंड अगर आप इस साल नेक्स्ट ईयर नहीं क्वालिफाई कर पाए तो आपको और भी अटेम्प्ट देने पड़ेंगे. सो दैट इज वाई क्लास नोट शुड बी प्रिपेयर्ड keeping in mind that you are going to use the notebook for next 2 to 3 years at least. क्योंकि बेस्ट केस में भी अगर आप एक अटेम्प्ट में भी क्वालिफाई करेंगे, सो यू आर सपोज टू गेट क्वालिफाइड समवेयर अराउंड इन 24 में आप एग्जाम देंगे, उसका मेंस होगा, देन पर्सनालिटी टेस्ट, एंड यू विल गेट द रिजल्ट इन 25 समवेयर अराउंड अप्रैल में. तो इस वजह से यू नीड टू हैव क्लैरिटी कि जो भी आप क्लास नोट्स बनाएंगे, it should be prepared in such a manner that it should be with you for next 2-3 years. Why I am saying this? कि बहुत से स्टूडेंट होते हैं कहीं they have noted down one class here, second class there. So वहाँ से क्या होगा कि when you are having 4-5 classes, then it's fine. But when we have this entire classes, तो फिर आप you will not be able to manage कि कौन सी क्लास में क्या कंटेंट था और कहाँ पे पढ़ाया गया था. All right. So this is something associated with the class notes. Try करिए कि whatever is being discussed in the classes, you should noting down. You should not avoid anything, because at this point of time you are not having that much understanding to understand that what to write or what not to write. Because generally student क्या करेंगे, their idea is that this is important or this is going to be something that I will note it down, and other things is not important. तो अभी इस मोमेंट पे you should not follow this approach that this is important or this is not important. You should just note it down all the things. वो बाकी चीजें बाद में देखी जाएगी, that this part यहाँ से क्वेश्चन कम आते हैं या इस टॉपिक से कम आते हैं, वो you can do it in the later part, not in the first part. All right. As far as the foundation program is concerned, so I was discussing that. So we are going to have a goal, that is one thing. Then for achieving that goal, we need to follow some process so that we can have exam ready. So the first process that I have said is understanding the syllabus. The second is completion of the syllabus. Understanding the syllabus, completion of the syllabus. And then comes very important step, answer writing. What is the utility of answer writing? आपको क्या लगता है? What is the utility of answer writing? Tell me why we do answer writing. Anything, whatever comes to your mind. क्या लगता है क्यों आंसर राइटिंग करते हैं?
पढ़े तो हम लोग बहुत सारा है, बट उसको कंप्रेस करके लिखना,
ठीक है, ठीक है, स्पीड एनालाइज करना, ठीक है. Why we do answer writing?
सर एग्जाम में सर हम लोग जितनी नॉलेज है उतना नहीं, एकदम सारा नहीं, बुक नहीं लिख सकते. जैसा सफिशिएंट वर्ड लिमिट उनको दी रखी होती है, उतने में हमको लिखना होता है. इस तरह.
So what she is saying to certain extent is correct. There is no denial about it. But she is looking something for लेट्स से मेंस एग्जामिनेशन 24, मैं उसकी बात अभी नहीं करता हूं, बिकॉज यू ऑल नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट यू आर, लेट्स से हो सकता है कुछ लोग पहले से प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हैं, बट आई एम सेइंग दैट यू शुड कंसीडर योर सेल्फ विल ऑलमोस्ट नोविस, दैट यू आर जस्ट न्यू बी. So whenever if you will look out even the school kids, when they go to the school, सबसे पहले तो उनको ABCD सिखाई जाती है, लेकिन ABCD सीखने के बाद उनसे क्या कहा जाता है? You should write. You should write. Why? To check that whatever you have learned, are you able to reproduce or not? And this is what we are going to, you need to follow even in case of UPSC. ये भी तो एक एग्जाम प्रोसेस है. Only here the candidates are matured, they have already done the graduation and all. But ultimately, this is a learning process. And in any learning process, whether you have learned it or not, it can be only assessed based on some form of assessment. And that assessment will be in case of UPSC, one is prelims stage, one is mains stage. Prelims stage is like that multiple choice question will be asked. लेकिन multiple choice question आप direct अगर करेंगे कि हाँ फर्स्ट डे से ही करना शुरू कर दिए, then the second stage आप नहीं कर पाएंगे. So that is the reason why you need to do the answer writing, and answer writing is having the, you can say, capability to tackle both the stages, prelims stage as well as मेंस स्टेज. सो जो कुछ भी आपने पढ़ा है, द बेस्ट वे टू नो दैट वेदर आई हैव लर्न इट और नॉट इज द आंसर राइटिंग. सो दैट इज व्हाई आंसर राइटिंग इज सो मच इंपॉर्टेंट इन दिस प्रिपरेशन. बट हाउ टू डू द आंसर राइटिंग, फ्रॉम वेयर डू द आंसर राइटिंग, what level of answer writing I need to do, how many question I need to write, whether I need to write the PYQ. So these are some of the questions which all the students, almost these questions troubles all the students, and this is some question which I used to come across with the candidates जो 2 साल 3 साल से प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हैं, वो भी इसी उधेड़ बुन में रहते हैं. Let's suppose that this year they have started writing answers given by the Prince Sir. Next year, some topper will say, no, PYQ needs to write, they will start writing the PYQ. Next year, some will say, no, write this, do this, they will. So the point that I am trying to make you understand, that you need to make yourself very much settled. You need to have very much clarity. It is not that if you will just write the PYQ from the day one, so you will be able to qualify this examination. You need to understand the process. So this answer writing should be at different level. Whatever you are learning, write that. So this is something, let's say 1 class, 2 class, 3 class, ठीक है? So in first class you have learned something, you need to write. In second class you have learned something, you need to write. In third class you have learned something, you need to write. Now try to understand. Let's say you are learning, you have learned today something, and in the night or day after tomorrow you are writing this, and you are able to very much recall all the things that you have learned. So now over the period of time, let's say you have done this exercise for 1 month. So now you are very much comfortable that whatever is being taught in the class today, I can write it tomorrow, and I can write it day after tomorrow. Then you need to move on this answer writing like this, stepwise. So the first step is like whatever is being taught in the class, whether you are able to write it, reproduce it or not. तो आपने जब ये 15 दिन 1 महीने कर लिया, now you need to move it from this, and you need to check कि ठीक है, whatever is being taught today or whatever has been taught yesterday, I am able to recall, but whether I am able to recall what has been taught a week ago, 10 days ago, whether I am able to recall. So for that, what you need to do? You need to write something called unit test. सेक्शनल टेस्ट, वीकली टेस्ट, बहुत से नेम है, we will do that. And let's say you are able to perform here also good, then you need to write the proper test, जिसको हम लोग क्या कहते हैं, test series. So in a way, to do this answer writing, I am following this 3-step process. So there will be a 3 levels of answer writing. The first level of answer writing will be what? Whatever is being taught, based on that you will be given a question in the class itself. Most of the time you will be asked to write within the class. जो offline में है, online के student अपने wherever they are, they can write at their own. Those who are at home or those in the class, sometimes question will be given, so they can go and they can write and they can bring it tomorrow. So this way we are going to follow as part of the daily answer writing. Once you will be able to understand the basic nitties and gritties of answer writing, कि ठीक है हमने plate tectonic theory पढ़ा 4 पेज में, but you have been asked to write it in 1 page and you are able to write it. So when you have learned that, then we will move to the next step, that is the unit test, sectional test. तो हमने geomorphology पढ़ा है, तो we will have a geomorphology test. हमने climate पढ़ा है, we will have a climate test. So this will be the format. And as part of this program, as part of this foundation, you also being offered the full-fledged test series. So you have also been offered the full-fledged test series. Test series में you will have the 12 sectional test and 2 mock test. So 12 sectional, 2 mock test will be there. So you can start writing the test series test after 1 month, 2 months. It's your choice, but my suggestion will be that you should write once the foundation program will completed and you have started performing well here and here. Answer writing के साथ साथ ये भी बहुत important है that how you are writing. So don't do the answer writing like duty. So like somebody has, if someone is working somewhere, so sometime might be they are not finding it interesting to work there. उनको जॉब अच्छी नहीं लग रही है, लेकिन उनको नौकरी करना है because it's the matter of their livelihood, right? So that kind of approach is not going to help you out in answer writing. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि सर ने बता दिया या किसी ने बता दिया कि नहीं आंसर लिखना ही लिखना है, तो आप कुछ भी लिखे जा रहे हैं. Try to understand. Initially you will write, definitely I will suggest that what changes you are supposed to do. You need to make that changes accordingly. So whatever the suggestions are being given, try to correct your answer next time when you are going to write. Because अगर वो आप changes नहीं कर रहे हैं तो simply for the sake of writing कि अच्छा ठीक है आज हमने कुछ पढ़ा आज लिखना है, तो उससे बात optional में नहीं बनेगी. So also you need to understand that you need to write according to the demand of the question, किस तरीके से question पूछा गया, क्या लिखना है. And also when you will write the unit test, look out your performance. And you should not just only look out your performance, look out your co-competitors performance. कि आपके साथ में जो आपके preparation कर रहे हैं, how they are performing, what is their marks, if they are getting good marks, so what was written in their answer that I am not able to write. So all these things you need to take care. All these things you need to take care. So answer writing is going to be very crucial. Other than the normal completion of the syllabus and answer writing, so we have a goal, then we have a syllabus completion, then we have a answer writing. If you will have a command over all these three, you have clarity of the goal, you have completed the syllabus, time bound completion, you have knowledge of the detailed syllabus, you have prepared the notes on the detailed syllabus, answer writing, 3 levels of answer writing, daily answer writing, sectional answer writing, then you will have the proper test series, and you have performed well. Believe me, nobody can stop you after getting 260. आप हो सकता है 2025 में जाने वाले हो, लेकिन 24 में भी जाके दे आइए एग्जामिनेशन, nobody can stop you after getting 260 अगर ये सारी चीजें आपने कर लिए. But there are other things also that you need to keep in mind if your target is this. You also need to understand that the nature of this examination is little bit changing, and so the geography option, almost all the options, but we will stick our discussion to the geography option only. The nature of the questions is also little bit changing, and the nature of the topics. So what is happening? There is geography is a very dynamic subject. So geography is not something that it is a very static subject. Geography is a very dynamic subject, and the nature of the subject is little bit changing. Topics nature is changing, and so the UPSC is also asking questions related to that nature. So contemporary issues are something that you need to prepare. So all of you need to prepare, but once you have joined the foundation program, so it is our responsibility, it's my duty to help you out in preparation of the contemporary issue. So as part of this program, contemporary issues material, contemporary issues topics will be provided in this program itself. So you need not to worry about the contemporary issues material and topic. And when you will do all these things, while deciding the geography as optional, when you might have decided that I will go to the geography as optional, तो आपने एक चीज जरूर कंसीडर किया होगा, that geography is overlapping in GS part. And in fact, if you will look out this year's prelims question, तो आपने देखा होगा कि almost 20 questions has been asked. I have also discussed. So 20 questions has been asked from the geography, and that is in prelims. And when you will go in the mains, you will have the GS paper 1, जहां पे आपको 100 नंबर के geography के question पूछे जाएंगे. Then GS 3, where you will have the questions on agriculture, industry, and also you will have the environment, ecology, biodiversity, climate change, then disaster management. So almost GS1, GS3 is having the direct geography questions. So when you will have this subject, you are preparing the geography, you have opted the geography as an optional, you also need to have that art where so it should not be the vice versa. Please be very clear. So don't rely on your GS geography कि ठीक है GS में पढ़ लिया तब यही हम अपने, no, you need to prepare optional and whatever the knowledge you are having, because in mains also the question, अगर आप देखेंगे geography के जिस तरीके से question GS में पूछे जा रहे हैं, बहुत से ऐसे questions आपको मिलेंगे which is almost beyond the scope of a GS student. So you need to get an advantage, because you have decided to go with the geography as an optional, and if you are getting an advantage, so what is bad in that? In fact, this year's prelims अगर आप देखेंगे, you all might have analyzed, and also I have discussed the geography question paper, you will find that this year questions of other topics, especially like environment, like science and technology, like polity, the questions were very random and very difficult. But if you will look out the questions of geography, the first thing, number of questions is very high, and out of the 20 questions that have been asked, almost more than 14 questions were like that if you have prepared well the geography optional, you will be able to answer. कहीं कोई दिक्कत नहीं आएगी, समस्या नहीं आएगी. So you need to understand that when you are preparing the geography optional, you need to keep in mind this thing, that I need to use this knowledge in the prelims, I need to use this knowledge in the mains examination. And you need to always be in that position where you are able to reproduce. So when you will prepare this contemporary issue, so contemporary issue will be highly helpful in the optional, but along with that it will also be helpful in the GS papers. And in GS it will not be only helpful in GS1 and GS2, even also it will be helpful in GS3 also. And in some essay, while writing the essay, you can give the reference, you can give the content that you have learned. So this is one thing that you always need to keep in mind while learning, while preparing the geography optional. Moving forward, let's have a brief discussion of the syllabus. Geography optional syllabus has been divided in two papers. So geography optional syllabus has been divided in two papers. Paper 1, paper 2. All of you must have been provided the hard copy of detailed analysis of the syllabus and PYQ questions. So try to refer that. Those who have connected through online, you can access through the website, and also you might have been provided in your account itself. Alright. So as far as the geography optional syllabus is concerned, you will have the two papers, that is paper 1, paper 2. As far as paper 1 is concerned, it is simply referred as Principles of Physical Geography. Principles of Section A. Paper 1 has been divided in two sections, Section A, Section B. It is a human geography. In broader sense, you can say paper 1 is divided in two sections, physical geography and human geography. Physical geography and human geography. Paper 2 has not been divided in two different sections. So paper 2 is simply referred as Geography of India. Geography of India. As part of this physical geography in section A, as part of physical geography, we have 5 chapters. Chapter 1, geomorphology. Climatology. Oceanography. Biogeography. Environmental geography. So these are the 5 chapters that is part of the section A. One thing you all need to understand, in case of paper 1, they have divided the 10 chapters in two sections, section A 5 chapters and section B 5 chapters. Even in actual examination, in mains examination, the paper 1 will have 8 questions, and those 8 questions will be divided in two sections. Section A 4 questions, section B 4 questions. So these sections are also very much synonymous with that paper. So whatever you are going to study in section A, when you will be asked the question in paper 1, so in paper 1, these chapters will be asked in section A only. So it is not like that you are studying the geomorphology in section A and you will get the question in section B. ऐसा नहीं होगा. You are studying the climatology in section A and you will get the question in section B. ऐसा नहीं होगा. So the UPSC is following this pattern straightforward. So whatever is written in section A, 4-5 chapters, question will be asked in paper 1, section A. As far as section B is concerned, which is referred as human geography, perspective in human geography. Perspective in human geography is more popularly referred as geographical thought. So perspective in human geography is more popularly referred as geographical thought. Then we have economic geography. Economic geography covers lots of topics. Its scope is very wider. Its scope is not wider only in UPSC syllabus, even in general also in human geography field, economic geography scope is wider. बहुत बड़ा दायरा है. Because of that, sometimes this human geography is also referred as human and economic geography. So don't get confused. Economic geography is part of the human geography. But because the scope is wider, that's why sometimes you will find that it is written as human and economic geography. Then we have population and settlement, regional planning, models, laws, theories, in human geography. Perspective in human geography is also popularly referred as geographical thought. So, जो आप in general you must have come across this term, that is geographical thought. So, geographical thought is nothing but it is referred as perspectives in human geography as part of the syllabus. So, these are the 10 chapters of paper 1. So, these are the 10 chapters that you are supposed to study in paper 1. 5 chapters in physical geography, 5 chapters in human geography. Geomorphology basically deals with the earth surface. As far as this term geomorphology is concerned, it is simply referred as the formation of the landform, the study of the landform, and the processes which makes the landform. So, if you will go with the technical definition of the geomorphology, so geomorphology is nothing but it is the study of landform and the processes which makes them. So, you need to do two things. एक तो आपको landform जानना है, that what are the different landforms we have on the earth surface, and also how those landforms has evolved, how those landforms have been formed. So, you need to know the landforms and also how those landforms have been formed. It is primarily part of the geomorphology. Geomorphology is one of the major spheres on the Earth's surface, that is lithosphere. So it deals with one of the major spheres on the Earth's surface, that is lithosphere. Then we have this climatology. Climate primarily deals with another major sphere, that is atmosphere. So it deals with the atmosphere, the different elements of the climate atmosphere, how our atmosphere is different from the other planet, why the atmosphere is favorable for the life, and what are the different layers we have, what are the different climatic phenomena that we have. So all these you will study as part of the climate. There are lots of disturbances that you need to study, and in fact, in last few decades, the whole humanity, the whole planet is threatened for the survival because of very rapid rate of change of the climate. So climate, earlier also climate has changed. Even we are the resultant of the climate change only. तो ऐसा समझना, ऐसा जानना that climate has not changed earlier is incorrect. Climate has changed earlier also, but the rate of change is very rapid, catastrophic, and which is troubling, which is creating a trouble for almost all the humanity. So as part of all those, it is part of climatology. In fact, because the climate change is one thing which is a kind of global issue, which is capable of affecting the entire human race, that is why this chapter, this topic is becoming very important both for your prelims as well as mains and also in general. Environment जब आप देखेंगे तो environment में बहुत सारे questions you will find that are linked up with climate. So if you are not having the clarity of the climate, if you are not understanding the basic idea, concept, if you don't understand the wind movement, it will be very difficult for you to understand the rainfall. Because if you are not understanding the wind movement, it will be very difficult for you to understand that why in some part high rainfall, some part less rainfall. If you are not able to understand the upper atmospheric circulation, so it will be very difficult for you to learn the jet streams, learn the different cyclonic activity, cyclonic phenomena. What is tropical cyclone? What is temperate cyclone? So all these things will be difficult for you to understand. And in fact, it will be not easy for you to have idea about the vegetation, have idea about the flora and fauna. क्योंकि कहीं ना कहीं vegetation, flora and fauna is in fact one of the very important part of the geographical study. Because when you will start looking out what is geography, you will find some answer. And in that answer, one very important thing that you will come across is the place, study of the place. So study of the place is very important aspect. But that place, why we are studying, over the period of time you will find, let's say Delhi is a place. So in Delhi you will have the different type of structure, you will have different type of languages being spoken, different type of economic activities being done. So over the period of time you will realize that this place is different from the other place. And what makes this place different? So one very important component you will find is hidden, one controlling factor is hidden in form of the climate. So climate is not only one chapter, but in fact it is very important, which will help you in understanding, in tackling the questions of environment also, agriculture also. Alright. Then we have oceanography. So oceanography primarily deals about the oceans. 71% of our Earth's surface is covered with the ocean. So 71% of our surface is covered with the ocean. And this ocean is not something that only we have the water. In the ocean we have a very dynamic phenomena. So oceanic waters have very dynamic phenomena, and this phenomena is not only limited to the ocean. तो ऐसा समझना कि जो ओशियन में हो रहा वहीं पर है, that is incorrect. Most of the phenomena that is happening in the ocean is capable of, in fact, affecting, impacting the humanity. So it is affecting the land. So जो भी आपके ओशियन के सरफेस पे, ओशियन के डीपर पार्ट में, in different clines, you will have thermocline, halocline, pycnocline. So in all the clines, all the phenomena that is happening, it is well affecting the land part. And if it is affecting the land part, it simply means that it is affecting the humans, it is affecting the humanity. So all these things we will be studying. In fact, in ocean also we have lots of dynamic aspect, like in last few decades, specifically when we have the more and more technological revolution or the technological advancement. In the backdrop of that, we have a new discussion and new form of the resource exploration, deep ocean mining. Also, climate is changing. So one impact of very important impact of climate change is the melting of glacier. Melting of the glacier is directly capable of impacting the sea level. So sea level rise is one very important issue. So sea level rise, then you will have the ocean currents nature is changing. Oceans are becoming more warmer. So sea level is rising. Why the sea level is rising? Because of the glacier melting. But oceanic temperature is also rising. When the oceans are becoming more warmer, the water will also get expand. Again, there will be a rise. When you will have more and more sea level rise, what will happen to the cities that are in coast area? In fact, the UNFCCC's the special report, IPCC special report, the special report highlighted this very importantly, very clearly throughout the world. But like city like Mumbai, presently Mumbai is having around 2 crore population, and it is expected that if the whole humanity is not going to act on this rapid catastrophic changes, by 2070, almost 70% Mumbai will get submerged in the ocean. Imagine, all the people are going to die in that area. Either they need to relocate, which is not going to be so much possible easy. So this topic is also deals with lots of contemporary issues. Other than the topics that you are supposed to study, it also deals with the contemporary issue. Then comes the biogeography. So biogeography primarily associated with the biomes, distribution of flora and fauna, also soil. So soil is going to be very important resource, because specifically country like India, where majority of the population is involved in which economic activity, that is agriculture. So agriculture are being done over the soil primarily. So that is why this chapter is very important. And in fact, most of the students consider this as a very static topic, but they fail to realize that biogeography is one of the very dynamic component of our syllabus. And if you will not prepare the contemporary issues in biogeography, so you will not be able to tackle the question. तो इसमें बड़े contemporary issues उसके question रहेंगे. Then we have the environmental geography. So environmental geography is primarily dealing with the biodiversity issues, ecological issues. So biodiversity, ecology is part of this particularly environmental geography. So all these you are supposed to study as part of the physical geography. Coming to the second part, as the name itself is suggestive, human geography. So it is like that physical geography is providing a space, a home, like you built yourself a home where you stay. So this earth is also like a home, and this earth like a home has been built by whom? By nature. So to have this home, the nature will have interaction. So all these are part of that nature. And on that nature, the nature has created home. On that home, a species called humans have evolved. Okay? Now the humans has come, so humans will survive, and for the survival they do different activity. Yes or no? Almost, अगर आप सबसे, if you will just try to imagine that when the first person has walked on this planet, कोई भी आप, I am not going to name it because you will have the different belief, different you can say acceptability in different religion. But whosoever was the first person who has walked on this planet, पहली बार जब आया होगा, तो हो सकता है उस समय टेक्नोलॉजी ना रही हो सकता है उस समय कपड़े ना रहे हो सकता है उस समय nobody was interacting, was capable to interact, कम्युनिकेशन नहीं था, लैंग्वेज नहीं थी, कुछ भी नहीं रहा होगा. बट वन थिंग इज वेरी श्योर that whosoever has walked on this planet, they were also needing what? They were also requiring what? Food. Food is basic thing for survival. अब वो कैसे मिल रहा है, that can be a different, that can be a matter of debate. But food एक ऐसी जरूरत है which was even needed for those who have first walked on this planet, and we believe, we accept that life has emerged in forest. So the first human, modern human, must have evolved in the forest. So forest में they were also need to do something to get the food. How? Either they should hunt or they will get the food through the fruits. So fruits are hunting, that is what? Economic activity. Earlier people were hunting and gathering. So hunters and gatherers are also the economic activity. Might be presently we are doing the service kind of activity, economic activity, like telecom is there, then you will have the software is there, then education is there. So nature has just changed. But that was also the economic activity, and presently we are also doing the economic activity. So economic activity was something that is very much linked with the humans. तो अगर humans इस planet पे हैं means they need to do the economic activity to get the food. So economic activity deals with mainly that part. Population and settlement. So if you will have the people, so people need houses. So people need houses, so people build houses. Over the period of time, people will be threatened from the outsiders. So for that, they will settle in some groups. That is how the colonies, that is how the village and all those settlement will evolve. So population is there, settlement is there. But when this life is happening, life is going on for generation to generation, obviously this settlement, this population will grow. So it will grow in different part of the world, and present condition of the population and settlement is resultant of that. So this is what you are going to study. As far as regional planning is concerned, so regional planning is talking about that world is having divided in different regions, and all the different regions needed different strategy. So it is not like that you should have only one strategy and you can follow throughout the world. You can apply that strategy to all the regions of the world. So it talks about that development is important, but how that development will happen. So that development will only happen when we are going to follow the regional planning. Then we have models, laws, theories in human geography. This you will study as part of the geographical thought. This perspective in human geography basically talks about that how the geography evolved. Because geography that we are studying today is not the resultant of something that one person had just talked about this. So this is not any kind of religious text. Like in religious text, there will be one person or there will be a God who will tell all the things. This geography as a discipline, or for that matter any discipline, whatever form it is having presently, it is the resultant of lots of work, efforts, studies done by the different philosophers. So from different time period, the different philosophers have contributed, and all that contribution over the period of time has amalgamated and it has been developed as a discipline. So right from the times of Varenius, Eratosthenes, Strabo, Ptolemy, Immanuel Kant, to Karl Ritter, Alexander von Humboldt, to present time period, contemporary geographers like Peter Haggett, Richard Hartshorne, everyone has tried to contribute, everyone has tried to study this geography, and you are supposed to study that, you are supposed to study those evolution of the different ideas, in which time period which idea was more prominent and why it was prominent, why this idea has been replaced by the new idea, new philosophy, new school of thought. So this is what you are supposed to study. So the perspective in human geography is nothing. It is like how this geography as a discipline has evolved in over period of time. So how the geography discipline has evolved, we are going to study. तो इसीलिए हम लोग उसको कहते हैं geographical thought. So that we simply say it as a geographical thought. All right. Last is models, laws, theories in human geography. So in this geographical evolution, there was a time period when everyone was trying to make this geography as a scientific subject. We call it as quantitative revolution. So during the quantitative revolution, everyone was trying to make this geography, treat this geography in a scientific manner. So prominently in that time period and also later on, earlier also, there has been a different attempt to consider to treat this subject as a scientific, and to make it scientific, everyone was trying to have a law, theory. So everyone was trying to make laws and theories, and all those theories that has been propagated in different time period related to the human activities, human geography, we are supposed to study under the models, laws, theories in human geography. So these are the part of paper 1. Coming to the paper 2, as I said in paper 2, there is no division. So paper 2 में कोई division नहीं किया गया है. So in paper 2 we have the physical setting, we have resources, we have agriculture, we have industry, trade, transport and communication, cultural setting, settlement geography, regional planning and development, regional planning and development, political aspect, and we have the 10th chapter that I am going to write here on top. So we have this 10th chapter which I am writing here as a contemporary issues. Now just quickly understand, as far as this physical setting is concerned, so it talks about the physical aspect of our country. In physical aspect, what are the important aspects that you are going to study is the physiography. You are going to study the climate, you are going to study the vegetation, you are going to study the drainage, rivers. So all these things are also climate. So climate, soil, vegetation, physiography, drainage. So these are the important elements that you will study as part of the physical setting. You can also note it down quickly. Physiography, climate, drainage, soil, vegetation. So we have the physiography, climate, drainage, soil, vegetation as part of the physical setting. So this is part of the physical setting. So the first chapter is physical setting. The second chapter is resources. Now in resources, what are the different resources? So the different resources that you will find is like forest as a resource, soil as a resource, different minerals are there, energy resource, so all the resources you need to study. So this you need to study as part of the resources. So the first chapter is physical setting, the second chapter is resources. Even agriculture is also resource. So in resources you can also write this agriculture. Agriculture is also resource. Then we have industry. In industry you are supposed to study about the different form of the industry, how the industrial evolution happened, what are the different types of industry, why some of the industries are located, where it is located. So all these things you are supposed to study. Then we have the trade. Trade is something which is associated with the export and import primarily. Transport, so we have a different modes of the transport. Communication. Communication is simply the, you can say this is also kind of transport, but this is transport of ideas. So we communicate. Now in the modern time period, the modes of the communication has almost evolved at different level altogether. So we have the different technology. Earlier it was 2G, then 4G, then we are having the 5G, Internet of the things. So that all the, you can give the command, and nowadays you will have this chat GPT. So everything you can just give some command and it will be done by the artificial intelligence robot. Alright, so trade, transport, communication, then cultural setting. The chapter is little bit confusing, but for yourself you need to understand that cultural setting is nothing but it is a population. So cultural setting is nothing but it is a population. One more thing which you need to keep in mind, मैंने पहले बताया था, but again I am reiterating. Whatever you are supposed to study in paper 2, it is nothing but it is associated with India. तो ये चीज ध्यान रहे. When we are studying the resources of India, when we are studying physical setting of India, when we are studying agriculture of India, industry of India, trade, transport, communication within India, population within India, settlement in our country, that is within India. Then we have the regional planning and development. Regional planning and development again deals with the how development should be done. Because if you will look out the governance, all the governments are trying to have a better governance. When we say every government is trying to have a good governance, what is the, you can say, how you can say that yes, it is a good governance? Of course, there are different political, you can say, aspect, economic aspect. Based on that, you can say this is good governance. But in general, from the human's perspective, a good governance is when there is some difference in the lives of humans. So if a people living in the rural area, in that rural area, if they can join my classes and they can prepare for UPSC, they can access the different coaching classes. So that is a kind of development. Yes or no? So the point that I am trying to make you understand, as part of the governance, every government is trying to have some change in the lives, and that is nothing but simply, you can say, in general term it can be referred as development. So every government is trying to have a development, but development is something that is very much subjective. So earlier, almost 30 years back, in the village area, when the government has started constructing the roads, as part of the Pradhan Mantri Gram Vikas Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Sadak Yojana. So it was like that if they were having the Kacha road, then it's good. At least we got a road and it can be connected to the some of the main road. Over the period of time, it was like, no, it should be at least brick. So brick based road. Over the period of time, no, it should be at least like how it is main road, concrete. So almost the idea of development will change. It is in similar manner like in 90s. अगर आप देखेंगे तो अगर आप अपने पेरेंट्स से बात करेंगे, then you will find in your home or in general in 90s whosoever was having a television in their home, that was considered as very rich people. Yes or no? Then the time has changed. Now someone who is having the telephone and computer in their houses, they will be considered as rich. But in the present time, almost if you are having all the things, then also you will not be considered as developed until unless you will have the Siri, Internet of the Things, artificial intelligence. So the idea of development will change. So here also in this chapter also it primarily deals with the development. लेकिन वो डेवलपमेंट किस तरीके से होगा, दैट इज रीजनल डेवलपमेंट, एंड दिस लेवल ऑफ डेवलपमेंट विल ऑल्सो चेंज. दिस विल डेफिनेटली वी विल गो फॉर इलैबोरेट डिस्कशन. लेकिन आपको टू जस्ट सेंसिटाइज यू, लेट्स you must have come across with this term that food security. So you all must be coming across this term several times, food security. ठीक है, food security के मायने क्या हैं? What do you understand by the food security? So in general, the accessibility, availability, affordability of the food items is food security. But the food item itself is not fixed. Because in 1970s, when the Green Revolution has started, people were not having the foods. Garibi Hatao Yojana. So the very famous slogan that has been given by the Mrs. Gandhi, Garibi Hatao, Roti Kapda Makan. So in that time period, the roti was almost something that people were not having. So in those time period, having the simply wheat was kind of food security. But in 2023, when you are talking about the food security, you cannot say that availability of wheat, availability of rice is good, so we are not having any problem. In the present time period, you need to talk about the nutrition. Whether the government is able to provide the salt, whether the government is able to provide the pulses, whether the government is providing, have made some arrangement to have the accessibility of eggs, protein rich diet. So this is how you need to have understanding that in all these topics, the topic will remain same, the concept will remain same, but nature will be different. So food security is not going to have, food security will have those three components. तो आप 70 में पढ़ेंगे, 80 में पढ़ेंगे, 2023 में पढ़ेंगे, you will study in 2030, then also you will have these three things will remain same. But the part of the food items that will make food security will be different. Very similarly, this development, meaning of the development will change in different time period, so that the planning should be made according to the requirement of that area, requirement of that region, regional planning. It's a very important, and in fact most of the students are not understanding. As far as development is concerned, lots of development is associated with some of the economic activity. So the regional planning and development questions and economic geography questions happens to be mixed together, and when they will be mixed together, the student will start crying कि ये तो इकोनॉमिक ज्योग्राफी का भी क्वेश्चन नहीं है, रीजनल डेवलपमेंट का भी क्वेश्चन नहीं, एंड दे विल फेस प्रॉब्लम्स. सो दैट इज व्हाई यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट वी विल डिस्कस इन वेरी ग्रेट डिटेल, बट overall this is associated with the simply development. So whatever the changes government is doing, whatever the program policies that government is doing is specifically related to the region based development, that will be part of regional planning and development. Then we have the political aspect. Political aspect deals with the political geography. We have the different concept of the political geography. Like very famous concept has been given by the Frederick Ratzel. So Frederick Ratzel has given the very famous concept of organic state theory. उसके बाद बहुत सारे we have a different proponent of the political geography. Very famous we have the Mackinder. So Mackinder has given the heartland theory, and then countering to this heartland theory we have the Spikeman, who has given the idea of the rimland. That is Spikeman's rimland concept. So this heartland and rimland is being attributed that the world has seen 2 world wars. So that was nothing but manifestation of the some of the idea of the political geographers. So it was the political geographers who has sowed that seed कि अगर आपको survive करना है, so you need to acquire the territory. Even the present Russia-Ukraine crisis is also very much linked up to that. So all these things we will study in the political aspect. Political aspect will also deal some of the topics related to our boundary disputes. So we are having the boundary dispute with neighboring countries. Also you will study as part of the political aspect within the country we have some of the boundary dispute with the states. Like you will have the Assam and Meghalaya is having some issue. Then you will find that Nagaland is having some issue. Then Nagaland and then you will have Assam, Arunachal. So all these issues is part of that boundary dispute. Other than this boundary, you will find we have a very important issue in our state, that is river sharing. So we have a river sharing dispute also. So all these things we will study as part of the political aspect. And the last chapter which I have written at top, contemporary issue. So contemporary issue is like almost in all these chapters you will have the contemporary aspect. तो जैसा मैंने आपको बताया, in almost all these chapters you will have the contemporary aspect. But specifically, if they are writing that separately that we have the contemporary issue, so definitely there will be some meaning. So definitely there should be some meaning, and why that is meaning? That meaning is associated with that overall the nature of the examination is changing. And the examiner is expecting from you that yes, you should know that, and you need to keep an eye. You need to keep an eye. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि अगर वो कंटेम्प्रेरी इश्यूज नहीं लिखते और फिर क्वेश्चंस नहीं होते. कंटेम्प्रेरी इश्यूज अगर उन्होंने नहीं भी लिखा होता, then also this contemporary issues happens to be part of all these. So contemporary issues happens to be part of all these. But if they are writing specifically, so they are giving you the message, and the message is very loud and clear that this topic you need to prepare in elaboration, and large number of questions are being asked in examination. Now, so these are 10 chapters of paper 2. We already have discussed paper 1, 5 chapters physical geography, but still I haven't erased this 5 chapters of paper 1 section B, that is human geography. Why I haven't erased? I just wanted to show you some important aspect. Here in paper 1 you are supposed to study the population and settlement. So population and settlement you are supposed to study. Here in paper 2 also you will have cultural setting, you will have settlement. Cultural setting is what? It is also population geography. Along with the population, it also deals with some of the social issues. It deals with the tribes, tribal problems, some of the women's problem. So this is very much linked. So it is not like that you should study the population and settlement separately and you will study the cultural setting and settlement. दोनों आप अलग अलग नहीं पढ़ेंगे. You need to prepare it in one go. So population and settlement, cultural setting, settlement, दोनों आप एक साथ पढ़ेंगे. ठीक है? Then you have regional planning. So regional planning is there in paper 1, and also you will have the regional planning and development. So the regional planning and development you should not study separately. You need to study in one go. So whenever we will study the regional planning, at the same time we will also study the regional planning and development. Similarly, when you will study the economic geography, तो economic geography में क्या है? Primarily economic geography, we have the resources, we have the agriculture, we have the industry, and also some of the aspects of the trade transport. So in a way you can say these four chapters of paper 2 are linked up with the paper 1, which chapter? Economic geography. So economic geography should be studied along with this. ठीक है? Total how many chapters were there? 20. Out of that 20 chapters, if you will look out the model laws and theories in human geography, इसके topics अगर आप देखेंगे, you will find that as part of the models, theories and laws in human geography, you will find we have the topics like Malthusian, Marxian and demographic transition model, which is nothing but part of the population geography. Central place theory of Christaller and Loesch, Perox and central place theory of Christaller and Loesch, which is nothing but part of the settlement geography. तो population और settlement में है ही है वो topic, फिर भी उसको अलग से लिखा गया. Then we will have the topics of Perox and Vaudeville, which is part of the regional planning. Von Thunen's model of agricultural location, that should be part of economic geography. Then we have Weber's model of industrial location, that should also be part of economic geography. Rostop's model of stages of growth, that should also be part of economic geography. The only topic which is relevant here, heartland and rimland theory, but heartland and rimland theory we will study in political aspect, political geography. Then laws of international boundaries and frontiers. So when we will study, these are the only two topics that are, you can say, these are part of the chapter 10. Other than this, almost all the topics are being just repeated. All the topics are being just repeated. So this laws of international boundaries and frontier that we need to study in respect to the paper 1, we will study along with this political aspect. In a way, what I am just trying to make you understand, out of 20 chapter, this one chapter is repeated. So now how many chapters you are left with? 19. And when you will come to the paper 2, in paper 2 also one chapter that is repeated, that is contemporary issues. Because in all the topics you will have the contemporary aspect. तो ऐसा नहीं कि contemporary issues आपको नहीं पढ़ना. So in almost all these chapters also you need to study the contemporary aspect. So again they are writing means they are just repeating. So they are just repeating, they are focusing that no, you need to study this. यहाँ पे भी वही purpose है that you need to study these topics very diligently. So this is also a kind of repetition. So total we are left with how many chapters? 18. Geography का syllabus बहुत बड़ा है? नहीं है. You just need to treat it in right manner. So you just need to treat it in right manner. So you will have only 18 chapters. Now, other than 18, as I said, that these 5 chapters we will tackle in one go. These 5 chapters we will tackle in one go. These 2 chapters we will tackle, 3 chapters will one go. These 2 chapters we will tackle in one go. So over the period of time, you will realize that when we will start learning through the linkages, then it will become very easy for you to understand, to learn. That is why I used to say that geography syllabus is not vast, geography syllabus is not big, geography syllabus is not that which cannot be managed, but yes, geography syllabus is very elaborative. How elaborative? Population settlement is written here. Again they are writing in here. So population settlement is written paper 1, paper 2. Regional planning, paper 1, paper 2. So almost repeated. And why repeated? Because they just want to give you the clear picture that topics, that what the topics you are expected to study. So the topics are very elaborative. The syllabus is very exhaustive. So you need not to worry about that which topic will be asked or how I need to prepare, how I need to find out the topics. So most of the topics that you are supposed to study is being given in the syllabus. But yes, there will be few topics which are not mentioned in the syllabus. So those we will understand in the classes, and also most of those topics are associated with the previous year's questions. So the UPSC also gives some hints, some glimpse. So these are the topics which are not written in the syllabus, but still you need to prepare these topics because questions will be asked from these topics. Okay? So this is how you need to approach the topics. This is how you need to approach the syllabus. Micro detailing of the topics we will go through when we will start the classes. So जब जिस chapter में भी जाएंगे तो हम लोग उस chapter के different topics को देखेंगे. If we are learning the geomorphology, if we are learning the political aspect, if we are learning the population geography, so that we will do. Now, this is something which is very important. As far as the book list is concerned, I will suggest you all should go with the minimum book list. You should not run behind very large number of books, but some of the books are very important and you should have that book. Whether you need to read it from cover to cover, whether you need to read only few topics from that book is different, which you will learn. हम लोग जब क्लास में पढ़ेंगे तो definitely it will be suggested कि कौन सा चैप्टर आप पढ़ना है या which chapter you can study or which topic you can study from the book, but you should have some of the books handy with you. So it is not like that you should not purchase the book. तो कुछ book आप रख सकते हैं. But as far as study is concerned, I don't think that you need to mandatorily study. If you are not interested in studying from the book, so only the topics that will be asked you to read only those topics, that will be more than sufficient. I will divide this list in two categories. One is basic books. So as part of the basic, you all should have geography NCERT book. So you all should have geography NCERT book, class 6 to 12. So I am sure that all of you must be having this NCERT. So you all should have NCERT class 6 to 12th. Also you should not go in that detail whether we need to go with the old book or new book. Whichever you are finding, you can go with that. तो अगर आपके पास old है तो no need to go with the new one. If you are having, you already have purchased the new one, so you are not supposed to go with the old one. So don't worry about it. You can go with any of the books. Other than this, G.C. Leong book of certificates in physical and human geography. So this book is also very good book. This book will be highly helpful in getting good diagrams. So you will have very good diagrams in this book, and this book is useful for your GS preparation. And I am sure that most of the students must have this G.C. Leong book. So you should have this G.C. Leong book. Other than this, you also need to have a atlas. As part of the atlas, I would recommend that you should have at least 2 atlas. So you should have the Orient Black Swan School Atlas, and also you should have the Oxford School Atlas. So these are the basic which you need to mandatorily have. Also one more thing, generally as I said that what approach generally I used to follow in the foundation, मैंने आपको already बता ही दिया है, that first we will discuss, then I will dictate the topics. Other than this, also we do the map work simultaneously in the class itself. So from the very next class, if you are not carrying the atlas in this class because this is orientation session, but from the next class you all need to carry the atlas. So you all need to carry the atlas, and online students should sit with the atlas. So you need to sit with the atlas, and within the class itself we will do lots of map work. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि that you need to just wait that when there will be a separate classes, map classes. We will do this map work together within the class itself. So every time when you are coming the class, when you are attending the class, please keep atlas with you. So that is one thing that like you must be carrying the notebook, right? जब भी आप क्लास में आएंगे आप notebook pen जरूर रखेंगे. Like that you should also have the atlas. Now as part of the reference, I will suggest you to go with the geomorphology book of Savindra Singh. Climatology, same writer. Oceanography, same writer. Human geography book, Majid Hussain. Geographical thought, Sudipta Adhikari. Models, laws and theories, again by Majid Hussain. And then India, a comprehensive geography. India Comprehensive Geography by D.R. Khuller. These are the only books which I think you should have at this point of time. Yes, we have some of the books for the political geography, for the regional planning, for the population geography, for the settlement geography. But I would not recommend, if you are part of this foundation program, you have joined the classes. So these are the books that you need to have, because you will also provided the study material. So you will also be provided the study material along with the classes, and other than this contemporary issues will be provided. So these are the books that you should have. Also geomorphology, climatology, oceanography will have a combined book of the physical geography. So my suggestion will be, because you have just started your preparation, you are new to this preparation, so you can go with a separate book. Because if someone is preparing from, let's say 2-3 years, and if they have studied from that combined book, so I would not suggest them to change. But those who are new and they just have started their preparation, so they should go with this separate book. Also, you are not supposed to read the book from cover to cover. You are not supposed to read the book from cover to cover. You just need to just follow the class. जो भी class में बताया जाएगा, if it is being suggestive that this topic you supposed to read or this topic's content is good, which can be reproduced in the notebook. So that is how you need to just follow. Alright. So these are some of the books from my side. So this is for the, you can say these are reference book. These are reference book and these are basic book. So these are basic, these are reference books. Alright, so with these books you can start your preparation, and class timing will be from 11:30 to 2 p.m. and classes will be from Monday to Friday. Classes will be from Monday to Friday, and we will complete the syllabus within that 4.5 months time period. So you need not to worry about that. You need not to worry about that. So that's it from first class. So whatever I have suggested, try to follow and try to think that this is how you should take the benefit of this foundation program. So that's it from my side.